Hi everyone, my name is Giovanni Iermano and this is my presentation for Assessment 3 Understanding the Business Environment. Today I'll be discussing four key areas that are shaping today's economy and influencing business decisions. These topics are the macroeconomy and business cycle, tariffs and trade wars, insights from behavioral economics, and how developments in AI are affecting inequality in the labour market. Let's get started. In this slide, I'll explain the three key macroeconomic indicators: GDP, inflation, and unemployment, and how they relate to the business cycle. Gross domestic product, or GDP, measures the total value of goods and services produced in a country. It's a key indicator of economic growth, and when GDP is rising, the economy is typically expanding. Inflation refers to the rate at which prices for goods and services increase over time. Moderate inflation is normal in a growing economy, but high inflation reduces purchasing power, while deflation can signal weak demand. Unemployment measures the percentage of people actively seeking work but unable to find a job. High unemployment usually indicates economic downturns, while low unemployment often reflects a strong labour market. Together, these indicators help identify phases of the business cycle, such as expansion, peak, contraction, and recovery, which businesses use to adjust strategies, manage risk, and plan for growth. This slide focuses on the impact of US tariffs on Australian exports and how it affects our economy through the aggregate demand and supply model. The graph here shows how tariffs imposed by the United States reduce demand for Australian exports. This causes Australia's aggregate demand to shift from aggregate demand 1 to aggregate demand 2. Shown by the move from the dashed blue to the solid blue line, the black dot represents the original equilibrium with the higher GDP and a stable price level. After the tariffs, the new red dot shows the updated equilibrium where both GDP and the price level are lower. This decline suggests slower economic growth and even the risk of deflation since key exporting industries are producing less. We can also expect higher unemployment, especially in sectors relying on overseas demand. The orange line represents aggregate supply, which stays the same, meaning the drop in output is purely demand driven. Overall, the tariffs lead to reduced export activity, which pulls aggregate demand to the left and weakens Australia's economic position. This slide focuses on the impact of US tariffs on Australian exports and how it affects our economy through aggregate demand and supply model. The graph here shows how tariffs imposed by the United States reduce demand for Australian exports. This causes Australia's aggregate demand to shift from AD1 to AD2. Shown by the move from the dashed blue line to the solid blue line, the black dot represents the original equilibrium. With higher GDP and a stable price level, after the tariffs, the new red dot shows the updated equilibrium, where both GDP and the price level are lower. This decline suggests slower economic growth and even the risk of deflation, since key exporting industries are producing less. We can also expect higher unemployment, especially in sectors reliant on overseas demand. The orange line represents aggregate supply, which stays the same, meaning the drop in output is purely demand driven. Overall, the tariffs lead to reduced export activity, which pulls aggregate demand to the left and weakens Australia's economic position. Topic 3 is insights from behavioral economics, and the question was asked about food options, unhealthy and healthy. And one of the main causes of people picking unhealthy options is due to present bias. And present bias occurs when people undervalue their long-term health effects in favour of their immediate reward. In this example, the pleasure of consuming delicious food, which is deemed to be unhealthy, the customer feels a sense of value and pleasure when they have the food, so this is why they purchase it. But behavioral economics demonstrates how emotion, habit, and bias can result in decisions that aren't the best ones over the long term in comparison to traditional economics. And traditional economics assumptions state that people always make logical decisions in their best interest. This knowledge can assist companies and politicians in creating more effective plans to promote healthier habits. The fourth and final topic is developments in AI and implications for inequality in the labour market. This slide illustrates how AI is reshaping the labour market and affecting wage inequality. For highly skilled workers such as data scientists, AI acts as a powerful tool that increases demand for the expertise and drives wages upward. Conversely, AI replaces many routine tasks done by lower skilled employees. For example, self-serve checkouts, which replaces cashiers, which reduces demand for these jobs and leads to lower wages. This divergence in demand and wages across skill levels contributes to growing salary inequality in the labour market, which overall means that traditional employees are feeling undervalued and will want to leave the business or may struggle to pay bills at home. Continued on from the previous slide, AI automation mainly benefits highly skilled workers by boosting their demand and wages, while displaying lower skilled jobs or causing difference in wage conditions for others, leading to likely increase in the wage gap because employers aren't happy with the amount they're getting paid. In conclusion, monitoring GDP, inflation, and unemployment can help us better manage the business cycle. Trade policy changes such as tariffs impact global competitiveness must impact our supply chain and investment strategies. Behavioral economics offers practical, cost-effective, and methods for influencing decisions and encouraging change. Additionally, for reducing AI's impact on the wage gap, proactive workforce planning and ethical governance are required. I hope today's presentation has given you an insight on how the economy is changing and working nowadays in Australia, in the real world, and in the economy in the financial sense. And I hope you've enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.